Welcome to another edition of What the FAQ Thursdays. Halloween edition. What's up, everybody? I love this mask. Welcome to another What the FAQ Thursdays. And a lot of the times I'm doing this. I do have some new subscribers, so I'm going to lay this out on the table so you guys can know. On Wednesdays, I send out a post and it has some information on there. You can ask whatever question you want on any subject, reselling or not. It's as simple as that. I'm open to answer whatever. I like to do this because a lot of the times we get stuck on money, shipping, platforms, reselling, and only that. And you forget that there's other things that you can discuss with other people that might give you ideas on what to sell or what else you can do with your life or how else you can branch out from reselling or something like that. And also because I bring up topics that may be entertaining. They have nothing to do with reselling. So if you ever have a question on reselling or not, leave it in that comment on Wednesdays. And this is for Posse members only. On Thursdays, I shoot the video and then I upload. The uploads come it could be in the morning, afternoon, evening, who knows. I'm really busy on Thursdays, so I shoot it as soon as I have a chance, and then I upload. These are also unedited, so I read the questions, I try to answer as best as possible, and then we move forward from there. With that said, let's get to the first one. At Keith Blank 1498 says, are there any suppliers besides Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus that can deliver to me within 1 to 2 days that might also have really good prices so I can resell on other platforms? Great question. There's a few, and it's going to be big box stores. Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, places of the sort. Costco as well. Their local grocery stores can do the same because they do carry sometimes product that you might be able to resell. The issue with that is that most of these big box stores aren't set up like Amazon's or Walmart's to where they have like a clearance tab that you can go online and just order to your house. It sucks, but what you can do is that you can go to your closest store, right? Let's just say that you picked Home Depot. I'm going to go look at the drills. Maybe they're on clearance. So you go and look at the drills, and if they're 30% off, whatever the case, you can see and you can ask them if there are more in the area so where they can purchase them there and then they can send them to that place or that location so you can pick them up from there, or they can send them to your house. Sometimes they're able to do that. I know that you probably wanted a better solution to this or a better answer, but that is what it is. You can still find stuff. Look, I've had better luck getting or using filters on Amazon and eBay. I just put filters, and every morning when I wake up, there's already stuff in there because I filtered so they can give me like a heads up on what's for sale, how much it's for, and so on. And then I can just take it back and resell it. Usually it's from eBay to Amazon, and sometimes it's from Amazon to eBay. It just depends. I have done well with that, and that's what I recommend. Other than that, these places that deliver 1 to 2 days, I mean, if you think about it, why are these places so big? Why is Amazon a $1 trillion company? Because they don't sell stuff. Their whole business is about having a distribution or being the best distributor ever to have all the products and everything that you need within 1 to 2 days. Walmart is the only real competitor at the moment because they have so many locations that have been built since Walmart was introduced in, I don't know, a long time ago, 50s, I think, or the 40s. In any case, that's the best answer that I can give you for that. Next question, it's at Keith Blanc 1498 says, how to minimize shipping from products that are larger than 12 by 11.75 by 8, which is a priority large mailing box. Poshmark has a deal with USPS priority shipping, but the product has to fit in the dedicated priority mailing box, the largest being the large box mentioned above. There is a 5-pound limitation, but you can upgrade and so on and so forth. Okay, I get it. I know what you're trying to do. First of all, I rarely use priority mail boxes. They're ridiculously expensive for no reason. And USPS Advantage, like Ground Advantage, is pretty fast and it's way cheaper. It's like, what is that? Maybe 60% less cost? It's fucking insane. I'd rather not use priority mail, but if you are going to use it, is there a better way to do this? Yes. if you are going to use it, certain platforms have those deals, right? The best deals that I've seen are through the platform itself, because that's what they're telling you, that you have to ship it like that, or through Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship does have priority mail that's a little cheaper, but they also have something that's called a box in a bag. So you get a bag, it's like 10 by 15. So you're telling them, I have a bag that's 10 by 15, and whatever box that I'm going to put in there is going to fit in that bag. It's going to seal. And if you are able to seal it, then they give you the bag price. It's quite a bit cheaper to do it that way. There's also dimensional shipping, which is like cubic shipping. I've seen it on Amazon and I've seen it in other places. There is one more platform, which I won't give you guys right now because I don't know enough. And I don't want you to go sign up and waste your money on some bullshit. So let me look at it first and I'll probably make a video on it. But there's a new platform that Amazon is using. You can use it on eBay, Amazon, and a whole bunch of other ones. And I believe they're doing now more like FBA as well. That means that you can send this product that's not Amazon, that it is not the Amazon FBA, but you can send it to this place and then they can ship it out from there. Don't quote me on this. I need to check it out. If I get good information, I'll get back with you guys about that. But I don't recommend using priority mail shipping. I don't know why you would. It's so much cheaper. Even if you buy boxes, because I know that priority mail is free boxes. Okay, boxes don't cost enough for you to be buying priority shipping instead of USPS Ground Advantage. I would say 98% of my packages are ground or USPS ground or UPS ground or FedEx home delivery or something like that, but it's ground. The only ones usually that I use that are priority are the priority envelopes, because I already know what the cost is. It's $8. Well, it used to be $8.20. Now it's up to $8.68. But it's an envelope, and I already know what it fits in there. It fits jeans. It fits things that are under 2 pounds. Over 2 pounds, usually I'll use something else, like a box or something. But that's what I recommend. Next question. At Rick Stenardo. Hi there. I have a question. Do I still get eBay top-rated seller protection if I sell an item? Say I sell it on Tuesday and I lose my status on Thursday. I have a customer that bought a new item box. She opened the box and now wants a full refund. I thought I could keep 50%. Thanks, Rick. Oh man, this is a good one, Rick. So let me explain to you this way. I tried to reach out to eBay, couldn't get a hold of anybody. So this is just going to be hearsay. You can't hold me to this. You're asking for an advice, and I'm giving you advice as what I know that a business would work. If you ship it, if you have top-rated seller status on Tuesday and you ship it on Tuesday, and then you lose it on Thursday, and this problem doesn't happen till Friday, no, you're pretty much fucked. Because the way that coverage works on anything, it's dependent on when the problem happens. When that issue happens, and if you have coverage, whatever it is, insurance or anything else, that's when you're covered. If for some reason you shipped it one day, but the customer hasn't gotten it, then why would they give you eBay seller protection? I don't think that they would. Again, I don't know. I tried to reach out. They weren't available. So that's the best that I can tell you for that. And as far as, okay, it was a new item in box. She opened it and now wants a full refund. I thought I could keep 50%. Okay, Rick, I'll tell you this right now, bro. That's high. That's fucked up, bro. 50% is a lot of money to keep for a new in-box item that they open. Look, let me say this, and I know it's going to hurt, and I know that you're not going to like it, and it doesn't matter because you need to know this, because I want you to succeed in the future, in the long term, not in the short term. And I know it sucks in the short term because I've been there. When you are not selling a lot or you're getting hit all the time with returns and stuff, you just want to stop it. So you tend to do things like I would keep 50%. Like why would it be okay to keep 50% of that? An open box item, usually the markdown is about 15% that you would lose because it's open box. This is generally speaking in the industry, retail, online, whatever. About 15% of the margin. That's what you lose. So you're talking about 50%. That's a big difference, man. So what I recommend is just give the full refund, take the hit for it, and resell it at 15% less. What you're doing there is that you're not going to piss off a customer because you're already in hot water since you already sold your top-rated seller status, so you don't get negative feedback. You keep these customers so where they can come back, and you know what? This is the name of the game, bro. This is the name of the game. Whether we like it or not, this is how people are. They're finicky as shit. I'll tell you what. This week alone, I had 5 returns, totaling for about one of them. Like one of those returns was about $120 sweater for $120, whatever. And then I had 4 other ones, let me just say 5. I think it was 5 returns, 4 or 5 returns. I don't remember. But the other ones were smaller returns, $30, $40, $30, but they all added up. And I didn't keep any of it. And I know that a lot of these people, they just put not as described in the photos because they want their shipping returned too. I could easily hold their shipping, but because they put not as described, when they fight it with eBay, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose that battle with eBay. So now that's going to look bad and they can ding me for that. They can also leave negative feedback. Not good. And I'm only going to save $8 here, $8 there. In the big picture, in the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. So don't do that. Give the full refund. Just give the best service possible and move on. That's it. That's the best that I can do. And look, I know that it feels like they're attacking you personally because like, shit, man, it's a badass item. It was so much money. Or even if it was, let's just say it was $50. So now I'm going to be out that money. It doesn't matter. This is the name of the game. And you have to understand that losses will happen. But remember what I always say. You can't prevent all losses, but you can always make more sales. So go and make more sales. Rick, I hope that makes sense to you, brother. And I really, look, I know that sometimes it seems harsh, but I'm just trying to give you a bigger and better perspective. Because eventually you'll be at the point to where like you're making so much money that the little things like, you know what, refund it, whatever. And just keep moving forward. Your sales can always overpower your losses if you keep going. Next question. Oh, Robert Parker, I love this one. Robert sends the trickiest questions all the time, and it is a tricky one, but this is a good one. At Robert Parker 2669 says, here's a tricky one. How do we avoid buying counterfeit fake items if we find ourselves in a situation where we bought something counterfeit and can't return it or get our money back? How do we deal with it? Technically, you've got an item that you can't legally sell and maybe can't even legally donate. So what do? I know a lot of influencers don't want to. I know a lot of influencers don't want to touch the topic of fakes with a 10-foot pole because of the liability legal angle. But I'd like to hear some straight talk about the extent of the problems for resellers, how to protect yourself, and so on. Okay, definitely straight talk. First of all, am I a lawyer? Am I going to tell you what to do and you go do it and then you go to jail and something happens and you blame me? You're not going to be able to do that because I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you how, generally speaking, how this is going to work. And I'll give you one of my examples. Number 1, how do we avoid buying counterfeit fake items? I say this all the time. Try to stick to 3 to 5 categories, preferably less, and become the best badass. Better than anybody in those 3 to 5 categories. And why do you do that? Because nobody is going to be able to tell you what's good, like what's fake and what's real, because you're going to know. For example, let's just say that this was a mask that was a legit mask. This is not a legit mask, but there was a legit mask from somewhere, from like a real character that the movies that was in Hollywood and that is copyrighted. So you make this. So now this is a fake, right? Let's just say that this is a fake. You're like, oh shit. How would I know? Well, because you feel the product, you look at the stitching, you look at the tags, you look at the coloring, you look at the paint. When you become a badass in your category, you know all these things. And like that, you can tell. And sometimes they'll get you for sure. They'll get you. Like somebody who's going to get you because some fakes are super good. Some of those Chinese fakes or the Mexican fakes, because I go to Mexico a lot, and trust me, there's chingos of Mexican fakes. Like Oakley's that try to always sell me Oakley's. And I was like, bro, I worked for Oakley for 9 years. Trust me, none of you fuckers are gonna make me buy fake shit because I know how to test it and I know how to look through it to tell you if the lenses are good and the frames are good. But so what happens if somebody gets you? Can't get your money back. Okay. You can't refund it. Nope. Should you donate it? No. What do? You have a bonfire. Grab a beer and burn that shit. And I'm going to tell you why I said this. One time I bought a storage unit And that storage unit was filled with illegal narcotics of some sort. I know what they were, but of some sort. I had to call the cops. I took out my stuff first because if you call the cops, they basically hold the entire unit. They hold everything because they don't know what else is, good or bad. And you're kind of screwed. You lose your money. Sometimes you can get the money back from whoever sold it to you because, they didn't know or whatever. But most of the time you're going to lose your money. So what I did is that I took all the good stuff, all the stuff that was resell or able to resell. And then I called and they came and dealt with it. And now I had to prove that I had just bought it and I didn't, dump my own illegal narcotics in there so they can, just so they can take care of it. But it was fine. Most of the times they're just going to come and pick them up and they take them and you're like, bro, I just bought this shit. And you have paperwork and, people saw you bidding on it live or if you bid on online, you still have paperwork for that. You have a paper trail or a digital trail. So you should be good. So you can do that. But I recommend a lot of times just burn it. Burn it. Get rid of it. Because, you can't do anything else to it. And can you donate it? I don't recommend you donate it. That's just me. That is the third question. Now, I have one more. Hold on one second. There we go. At Bolts 222 asks, let's see, what is the one thing in life you look back on that brings good memories and has made you who you are? Damn. Straight to the heart, bro. And then he provides an example of himself building a tree house out of scrap shit that that you find on the street. When we were able to do that anywhere and people wouldn't mess with you, they would just leave you alone because we were kids. I love that. I was the same way. I grew up, on the street playing. We didn't have any phones, so we would go and get into fights and go play with cops and robbers or cowboys and Indians or whatever you guys played, things like that. We were always out. But I'll give you my memories. These may not seem, because you said good memories, they may not seem good memories, but I'll explain myself and you'll understand. The best memories that I have that definitely have made me who I am today are the ones that I shared with my little brother. My brother was born with a congenital heart disease, and he's had 7 open heart surgeries and has a pacemaker right now. He's perfectly fine, by the way. You would never know when you see him. He's perfectly fine now, but essentially half of his heart works only. And let's just say that our blood goes like this, his blood goes the other way. So because of the surgery, because they had to reroute his blood, eventually, the doctor said that he's going to need a kidney, a liver, and a heart. The heart because it's a shit heart. Only half of it works. The kidney and the liver because of all the meds and everything that he's gone through with all the surgeries. So, and I'm telling you this because, how are those good memories? Well, this happened when he was born to about a few months. He had the most surgeries all compact, all together, because they had to fix everything. And that's most of his surgeries when he was little. I think it was 4. And then he had 2 after that. I remember going to the Texas Children's Hospital. Right next door, they had a Ronald McDonald House. Ronald McDonald House, for those of you know or that don't know, it is a place for the parents of somebody that is in the hospital that is struggling so they can stay for free. And we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of anything when we were young. And it was a tough time. But the Ronald McDonald House, I remember it because it had arcades and it was fun because I was really young and I was a kid, You don't fully understand what's going on with your sibling when somebody's in the hospital because you just don't know because you're a kid. You're an idiot kid, right? You're just like, oh, let's go visit my brother in the hospital. And it doesn't hurt the same as when you get older. But I remember that they were good times because we would go and he would be the happiest, smiliest kid when we would go and visit him. And then I would tell him about the arcades that were in the Ronald McDonald House because he couldn't leave his room. And it was something that I'll never forget. Fast forward to 20, let's call it 2015. In 2015, he needed another surgery. He needed a pacemaker this time, and I was traveling with a company, and I was supposed to be in New York. At that time, the company had told me, they were like, "Well, we need you over here." And I said, "Hey, my brother's in the hospital. I'm not gonna be able to go." They're like, "Oh, okay, we understand. Whatever." They allowed me to stay, right? Because I was supposed to be in New York. I was supposed to fly, so they allowed me to stay. I went and I hung out with my brother, got his surgery. It was a great day. We laughed and we talked and we did everything with my parents around, and everybody was there. The whole family was there. It was a great time. But I remember those good times because I remember my brother saying like, "Hey, bro, if something happens, don't forget that what we wanted to do, with our life, what we wanted to do. We've always wanted to be entrepreneurs. We're the only two in the family that are like that want to be entrepreneurs and want to do our own thing." And I said, "Nah, bro, I won't forget. I'll never forget." 6 months later, I quit my job for the last time. I quit working for corporate America. I quit working for someone else. I knew that I was built for something more. So at that point, I left. I was in and out of jobs until I got steady, and I started doing my thing, and then I started doing reselling, and I've been doing reselling for a long time, since around 2015 and earlier. But that's what I remember from that. Now, fast forward again. And when my brother, the last time that I saw him, or the last time that he came to the house, he said, "Hey, well, I have another appointment. We're gonna go to Houston because I'm not feeling too hot, and they need to check my pacemaker." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, let's go." So that day was supposed to be a routine, just a routine checkup. And then they found out that his leads are these two little rods that go into the heart that shock him, that make the pacemaker, or that allow the pacemaker to work. They were disconnected. So we went from a routine checkup to getting admitted and doing an open heart surgery again. And just, it was a tough day. But the good memory came because, again, we hung out. It was so good. We were reminiscing about, hey, well, what's going on? What's going on with the business? What's going on? We've always been in business together. Like, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And we got to hang out. And I know that these sound or may seem like downer memories because it's always in the hospital. It's always in the hospital. But the way I see it is that if I was able to get my brother back, if I was able to see my brother after his surgery because he wasn't dead, that is the best and only memory that I need. It just is. It's a great memory. I'm very thankful to have my brother. And this has made me who I am today because one thing that we did promise, both of us, is that we are going to work hard on anything that we do for the rest of our lives so that we get to be the first ones that are financially independent, truly financially independent, and we can help our entire family. And then a split from that, for me alone, I am who I am today because every single day that I wake up, I think I need to make more money than I have now. I need to have enough money to where when my brother needs it, because he's going to need a transplant and he's going to need surgeries when he gets a little bit older and when something goes wrong, I need to be able to pay for that. Not my parents, not him, me. And that's because I am the older brother. And because I promised I would. That's it. That's why I am who I am today. That's why I work so damn hard. That's why I work 16 hours a day or more sometimes. And trust me, you can ask anybody that knows me and they'll tell you the same shit. It's not going to be forever like that, but it's going to be like that until I get to the point that I feel comfortable enough that I have enough money that if anything comes up, I'm going to be there for him. That's it. Okay, next one. I answered everybody's questions. Now I'm going to go to my topic. When it comes to Halloween, if you guys didn't know, Halloween started. I have some notes on the screen, by the way, so I'm going to be reading from this because I have a horrible memory, but I love history. Halloween has its origins from the Celtic festival of Samhain. So essentially, it was the ending of summer, beginning of the cold. So October the 31st, people would celebrate and they would wear masks. So they would grab their mask and this would hide them from ghosts and things that were out and about because they believed that the veil between worlds, the dead and the living, whatever you want to call it, was thin. So therefore, it was easier for people to move forward or for people to see the ghosts and vice versa. So they would wear that. They would also light bonfires. They would make predictions about what's going to happen the following year and so on and so forth. The Christians adopted the holiday in the 11th century. I'm not going to go into too much about the Christians because there has a long stretch of what happened there. But I do want to say something about the costumes. The costumes in trick-or-treating didn't really start until the early 1900s. And that happened because the tradition of trick-or-treating came from the UK and from Ireland. They would go from house to house and they would ask for bread instead or in exchange for prayer. Oh, they would ask for bread in exchange for prayer. And now that it came to the States, then now we have what we consider now, trick or treat, and you give candy or whatever. And it used to be that the costumes were scary to scare away the ghosts, but now they're more fun. And you guys already know it's more about what's going on now. What's the newest band? What's the the newest costume? What's happening now in pop culture? So it's a little different. And one last thing that I wanted to tell you guys is a story about what happened to me when we were young. We used to live in a small town called Donna, Texas. We didn't have much. My parents had just moved to the States from Mexico. We were never poor, but we were broke. It's a difference. It was a small house, one bedroom. The kitchen was basically the bedroom. It's like a house that you would see in like a small apartment in New York, where everything's like right there in that one little room. And even we had the restroom. You had to walk out to go to the restroom. It wasn't technically an outhouse because it was connected, but you had to walk out the side door to go into the restroom. And that's just the way it was. And we were happy kids. We were happy kids. We didn't give a shit about things. We didn't care about any of that. We were happy kids because we had each other. I had my older brother, and then my little brother had me. So, because there's 3 brothers, and then we had mom and dad, and they loved us, and they did everything for us. They did whatever they could for us. So one year, dad decides, hey, I'm going to take you guys trick-or-treating because that's the thing to do. And, it was a fun thing to do. And when you don't have a lot of money, you got to find things to do that don't cost any money. So dad says, hey, call your mom because we're about to take off. And dad's like, I said, okay, hold on. And we were just kind of chatting there. We're standing by a car, my dad and I, and my older brother. We're just standing by a car. And then dad's like, hey, I told you, go call your mom. So we're about to leave. And then we all look to the backyard. In the backyard, at the far corner, there was a tree. A tree that I've seen, that I've climbed plenty of times. There's always a tree there. And then we all looked, and while we looked, we saw a woman in white, and it just happened that my mom was wearing white, walk sort of around but through the tree and disappear. So my dad looks at me and looks at my older brother, And then we all say, what's mom doing back there? And dad said, go call your mom. And at that point, my mom comes out of the door from the house. And then she says, what are you guys doing? So we turn. Oh, shit. Oh, man. And we were asking her, were you back there? Did you go back there? My dad kept asking her, Anna, did you go back there? No, I was inside the house. What do you mean? And then we told her what we saw. And my mom's a very religious person. So, of course, she, started praying, started doing her Catholic thing. And we never found out what that was. It was an intense situation that I can't explain. I'm not saying it's ghosts because now that I'm more educated and older, the likelihood of that happening is I don't think they exist, but that's just me. But I did see what I saw what I saw, and so did my brother and so did my dad. I mean, come on, man. 3 people. Come on. We don't know what that was, but there is a thing that is said in Mexico. When you see an apparition, when you see a ghost, whatever you want to call it, you follow it to where that ghost stopped, disappeared, whatever. You go there and you dig. They say that if you dig, you'll find something, usually gold or jewelries or something of worth. But be careful, because they also say that if this happens, somebody will be wealthy, but one of you will die. Oh, shit. Chills. Oh, that's it, everybody. Thank you very much. By the way, the story was real. The whole story and the lore and all that, it's totally real. It's been passed down through us. By my grandma has told me, both of my grandmas, my great-grandmas, my great-grandpas when they were alive. Oh, man. Insane. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for sending those questions, and thank you very much for listening. I really enjoy What the FAQ Thursdays, and it's only for you guys to thank you very much for being part of the channel, for allowing me to live my dream of doing this, of affecting change through speaking to you guys, through building a community that we can all benefit from. As always, give this video a like, share this with anybody that needs to see it, and actually you guys can share it. I always say that, by the way. I was just kidding. Thank you very much. Next Wednesday is going to be a new topic. Send your questions in, send your topics in, and then we'll get it busting. All right, everybody. Let me find the end button. That's it. Peace. Oh, wait. Cheers. Okay, I won't drink the whole beer because you guys are going to see me drink the whole thing, and I'm going to look like an alcoholic. Peace.